25 kilometers an hour. Now that probably doesn't sound that impressive, but look at the size of these birds. And then think, if I tell you that the fastest swimmer at the Olympics last year swam at 8 kilometers an hour, 25 kilometers suddenly sounds pretty impressive, particularly for penguins of this size. So, as I said, we're feeding our penguins in a variety of ways. The first at the beginning was when we threw the fish into the water, and that's obviously because in the wild the fish comes from the water and not from the land. And it also encouraged our penguins to do that little bit of exercise. We're also feeding them through what look like drain pipes at the front of the pool here. That is because they are in fact drain pipes, but they are being used as a fish delivery method. You put the fish in the top of the pipe and it comes out at the bottom under the water, which of course is a much more natural way of them receiving fish. It does come from in the water and not from above. And so again, that's to encourage our penguins to use that natural behaviours to dive down and grab their fish. And it also means they're less likely to assume that fish always comes from their keepers. That said, we do also hand feed some of our penguins, and there are a variety of reasons for that. One of which is because it allows us to check the health of our penguins up close without stressing them up. You can see that our penguins are very happy to follow that bucket of fish. They don't feel at all stressed by the presence of a keeper. And that does mean that he can have a good look at their eyes, their beaks, their feathers, make sure that they're all healthy. If there are any penguins that need some particular care and attention, we can give that to them without having to stress them out by moving them to another part of the enclosure. Ricky there having a little bit of a moment, clearly didn't get as many fish as he thought he was entitled to. I did warn you, he's a little bit of a diva. Yeah, that's it. You take it out on the Wellington boots, that'll help. So as I was saying, feeding them by hand allows us to check on the behaviour of Ricky stealing my thunder. You really are. Nobody's listening to me. I did warn you, he's got a big personality.
Jumping around.
There we go. He'll calm down in the water now. So as I was saying, the other reason that we hand feed our penguins is because at certain times of the year, certain penguins require more attention. If you have a look at the penguins to the left of me, you'll notice that some of them in particular are looking really clean. The white feathers are sparkling white, the black feathers are a nice, smooth, silky black, and that's because they've just gone through their annual molt. And this is a process that happens about this time of year, just a little bit earlier, where they lose all of their old feathers, the tatty ones that they've had for a year, and gain nice new ones. And during that process, a penguin can't go into the water because, as I mentioned, their feathers are what keep them warm in this cold water. And so what they have to do is effectively starve for a couple of weeks while they're getting all their new feathers. And so what we do is we hand feed, particularly at this time of year, just to make sure that any of our penguins who are molting do get something to eat. And you can see they do come out looking like they've just been put through a wash. They look really, really clean and sparkly. It looks to me like we're reaching the ends of our buckets of fish, so I'm going to finish my brief talk here. If you do have any questions, I'll be down at the front after the talk, but please do stay and watch our penguins finishing off their dinner. Thank you very much for listening, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon here at ZSL London Zoo. Thank you.
Yep. Oh. So they don't perform like maybe seals or dolphins. There wasn't a dolphin there. We haven't got much left time. What time does it close?
5:30.
5:30?
Yeah.
Please? Closes 5:30.
ওরা এই গাছে থাকে হ্যাঁ ওরা সম্মান মতো আসে
All right, end of the video.